What is up, my good people? Today you're here with Fight Me Bro MMA and Caleb Pete, and we're going to be doing our prediction for Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. I think this is a very exciting fight, and the reason being both Gene and Arnold don't have that many notable wins. For Arnold Allen, I would say it's Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze, and Dan Hooker. The Calvin Kattar fight is arguable, but I don't know if I'm comfortable even including it because it did end via injury. I still think Arnold would have won the fight. So let's just say Arnold has 3 notable wins. Moving on to Gene Silva, his notable wins would be Bryce Mitchell as well as Kelvin Vallejos. There's probably someone I'm leaving out, but those are 2 of his notable wins. And I think those are pretty decent wins. We've seen how Kevin Vallejos performed against Giga Chikadze, knocked him out via spinning back fist. A lot of people comparing him to Ilia Topuria, and rightfully so. They're around the same heights. They're very technical, although Ilia's combos are a lot longer and he hits harder. But needless to say, that win is aging like fine wine because Kevin hasn't lost a fight since. His only loss was to Gene Silva. And with Gene, he then went up against Bryce Mitchell, and I felt like that performance was underwhelming striking-wise. And I know that sounds like I'm hating, but he got outstruck in the first round. If you remember correctly, Gene couldn't pop off with the boxing. Sure, he was landing his low kicks and body kicks here and there, but Bryce was landing straight punches, landing kicks, and ultimately he won the first round. Maybe not on the judges' scorecards, but on my cards, I think he convincingly won that. And that comes back to what I believe about Gene Silva. I think he's not that impressive volume-wise, and it's not the first time this has happened. Even against Diego Lopez in the first round, I felt like they were having low kick exchanges and Diego was winning them. Gene doesn't look like he's that comfortable having a point fight, and that's why I feel like he would have some trouble against guys like Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski, if both fighters are in their prime, of course. And does Arnold Allen possess those same tools? Maybe, because he did have a very close fight against Max Holloway. It all came down to that third round. And if Arnold Allen didn't get too comfortable, he would have potentially won it via either split decision or robbery. Needless to say, that would have been a very impressive performance. And even without that, scenario, I think he did very well. He was giving Max some trouble, and what he does is he likes to overwhelm his opponents, blitzes them, and throws flurries of punches. It's how he finished Dan Hooker. Sure, when he goes up against other technical strikers like Giga Chikadze, it's not going to be that easy, and that's why that fight was so competitive. And what really shocked me about Arnold Allen was his performance against Movsar Evloev. He was stuffing the takedowns, and I think he was just pretty much not giving Movsar enough room to even attempt takedowns. He was pressuring him, landing some thudding punches. I also felt like Movsar was able to drop him, and that's something that shouldn't have happened against someone who a lot of MMA fans thinks has pillow hands. And I feel like Gene might be able to capitalize on Arnold Allen's complacency in those type of exchanges. Reason being, I think Gene Silva's distance management and shot selection is some of the best, if not the best in the division. If Ilia Topuria was there, it would be second, but it might arguably be first. And I don't think Arnold should go in that fight the same way he did against guys like Dan Hooker and Max Holloway, where he blitzes them, because with those guys, you can kind of get away because they might not be able to pop off on you. Dan Hooker at lightweight is not the same one we have at featherweight. Some of his best performances were in that division. We're talking Mateusz Gamrot. He went to war with a prime Dustin Poirier. Sure, he lost the fight, but it was very competitive. So I think Gene Silva will be able to capitalize on those mistakes if Arnold Allen approaches that fight the same way he did against the guys I mentioned, that being Dan Hooker and Max Holloway. And I just see this fight being won by Gene. Could he get the finish? Maybe, but I think Arnold Allen is very durable, and he's probably going to play it a little safer. And I think Gene is also very durable, and he has a lot of heart. We saw when he went up against Diego Lopez, he was eating those ground and pound strikes, and a lot of fighters would have given up in those instances. But nope, despite all the damage he took, he was able to reverse Diego Lopez, get back up. And yes, he did get knocked out, but I still felt like he was piecing up Diego Lopez on the feet. And it kind of looked like he was about to, win the round, regain momentum. And it just didn't go his way. but I still believe that he's going to be able to beat Arnold Allen via unanimous decision. But anyway, man, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's a tough one to call, right? Because Arnold Allen is just so incredibly inactive, and I know that's not completely his fault. I know he's had a lot of injuries and everything in between, but it's been what the last time we saw him was July of 2024. Like, man, it's been a minute since we've seen him out there. He looked good against Giga. I believe he lost the first round and we kind of just put the pressure on him, did what he does, blitz people. And, he looked impressive in the second and third round. But going up against Gene Silva, like you mentioned, I don't think he's going to just be blitzing him because Silva, he's a good counter striker too. And, when he lands, he hurts people. And, it could be a fight of the year contender depending on how it goes because these guys are both incredibly durable. um, I do think Allen, I wouldn't be surprised if he mixes in some wrestling and grappling because, he honestly has some decent wrestling. He doesn't always use it, but, we've seen flashes of it in the past. It's been a minute, but I don't know. I think we could see a fight where Allen comes out first round, has a good first round, and I think Gene Silva is just going to start putting it on him. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a TKO for Gene Silva, to be honest with you. Like maybe late second round, early third round. I just think Arnold, like you mentioned, he hasn't really fought anyone with this type of power. Like Hooker has the power, like you mentioned, but at 45, it's a different ball game. I mean, he shouldn't have never even been cutting back to 145. He looked like he was staring at death's door, just making the weight. And yeah, I don't know. I think more than likely it's going to be a Gene Silva TKO. That's kind of what I'm leaning, and they're trying to push him hard. I mean, it makes sense. They love the fighting nerds. They're a fun team, a lot of exciting fighters, but it's just tough to say because Arnold Allen, he's way more experienced in the UFC. But yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning Gene Silva, late second round TKO. Yeah, and I think Arnold Allen will come out hard, probably win the first round. And I don't know. Silva is just incredibly durable. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'd make the argument, but some people were even saying early stoppage against Lopez. I don't know if that's probably the case. He got beat pretty bad, but I mean, he got up quick. He punched him after the fight. He's crazy. He's gonna be barking like a dog in the cage before. Uh, Man, the funniest thing I seen, forgot what Alan said. He said loud autism versus quiet autism or something like that. But
Yeah.
man, it's a good fight for sure. It'll be fun to see. Might be going out on a limb, but I'm gonna say second round TKO, Gene Silva. I think he's looking, he's got something to prove for sure. The way that team ended the year, besides Carlos Prates, of course, but they all kind of ended on a bad note last year. And yeah, I don't know. I think if he does that, I think he's probably one or two away from a title shot, more than likely. They're trying to push him to the title shot as soon as possible. Could even see a Diego Lopez rematch down the line. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
I see. I hear you, man. I hear you. So there you have it, guys. That's our prediction for Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. Let us know what you think in the comments and subscribe to both our platforms. Peace out.